Hello, my name is Lillian Ruiz.
My name is Irene O.
And this video documents a day in the life of a revenue manager, which is part of Purdue's School of Hospitality Tourism Management, Lodging Interviews and Documentaries.
And could you actually briefly introduce yourself?
I'm Karen Hirsch Cooper. I'm the area manager for the Homewood Suites in Hampton Inn here in Lafayette.
The first question I have for you is, what is revenue management?
Revenue management is managing your revenue. We do a weekly meeting where we look for the weekend, the year out, as far as what's going to happen with our revenue, whether we have special events. So it's basically managing your revenue, setting minimums and maximums, increasing rates if there's high demand, changing SRPs or companies, minimums and maximum availabilities. So it is just managing your revenue.
And what's the biggest difference between revenue management and financial management?
Well, financial management, in my eyes, would be the day-to-day operation, where that would be more expenses than it would be revenue. So financial management, obviously, you need to look at your revenue in order to adjust your expenses. But revenue management is really looking at the revenue that's bringing into the hotel and how you can maximize your rates and maximize your income.
What are your career goals as a revenue manager?
Well, I don't know because, well, see, this is odd because I'm not really the revenue manager. I am part of that team. So as far as if I was a revenue manager, my goals would be to continue up the ladder, probably go into more a financial or accounting area. Also, very much so to run a hotel, because most of the general managers are involved in revenue managing. So as far as, and also you could even go into as far as director of sales, because again, your director of sales is very involved in the revenue managing too of the hotels, because they obviously are the ones that are bringing groups in. And so it also, they need to understand that if it's a busy time, we don't want to take a low-rated group in if we know we're going to maximize the rates during that week or weekend. Key tasks are basically looking at availability. Also, there is something called Travel Click, which is a resource that lets us know what our competitive set is doing. So let's say Hotel X is closed out because they might have a group and you're next door to them and they're a competitor of yours, so you're kind of competing with that people. Maybe that would be a great time to raise your rate in order to maximize, because obviously they can't take any more rooms, so they're going to be pushing to you. Another key task is to understand what's going on in the city too. If you have football games or Purdue graduations or conferences, whether it's from a hotel or for Purdue, so that you know, so you need to be very well aware of what's going on in your city in order to raise rates, lower rates, put minimum maximums on. Also, if you have a lower rated group in, you don't want to take more low rates, so you might want to increase your rate if that group is taking some of your occupancy away.
What are the top 3 skills that are needed for like a revenue management position?
You definitely need to know the system. So whatever your system is, whether it's a Hilton or Marriott system, you need to be very well aware of the system, because everyone that I would assume has a revenue management system within their with their property management system. So to be aware of that. Also how to manage that system, and also to be aware of the rates and what that market can bear. Because Indianapolis is different than Lafayette and it's different than Kokomo, so you can't compare, you know, rates that you could get in Kokomo to rates you could possibly get in Lafayette, because it's totally 2 different areas. And obviously, financial obligations, you need to know what your budgets are for the hotel, so you need to understand financials too, in order to maximize rate to get to that budgeted revenue, or over the budgeted revenue that you have projected for the hotels.
Do you have any difficult problem or tough situation you have experienced before?
Oh my, yes. Where you don't think you're going to fill, and you lower your rates, and then all of a sudden an influx of people, or you missed an event, you know, that you didn't know about, and now you're starting to get a bunch of reservations, and you have to make sure that you're quick enough that you're looking at your inventory to make sure that you are raising your rates quick to maximize and not leaving any money on the table. Another thing is if you do any out-of-order rooms or manager on holds because of construction, you know, sometimes when you don't have that need, you might in forecast do something where you might be changing out carpets. Well, if your availability becomes limited, then you need to hurry everyone up to get those rooms back in order. So those are a couple things.
How does revenue manager communicate with other departments in the hotel?
Through, you know, your front desk. That's why you should. What we do is we have a meeting each week, and it's a weekly revenue management meeting, which is myself and our corporate revenue manager, our director of sales, our reservation manager, and our Hampton and GM. So we all get together, and then they, as managers, talk to the individuals like our front desk manager, our night manager, so they know what's a heavy maybe check-in for another hotel, or what's heavy for us, and letting them know that after X amount of rooms, if we only have 10 rooms left, to go ahead and raise the rate, even if it is 6 or 7 o'clock at night, to maximize the rates. Does that make sense?
Last question would be, what suggestions would you like to give to the people who are new to the revenue manager position?
Be patient, and be very, very knowledgeable about the system that you're manipulating. And also to be very, very aware of what is going on with that particular market. Because again, if you don't know, you could, you know, and also actually to make sure that your history is the same year after year, so that if you have a conference that comes maybe every year at the same time, that you are aware of that, and maybe that's why you had a higher rate, or knowing maybe there was a big conference that isn't coming next year, so that you know what's going on in your market. I think knowing the system and knowing what's going on in your market is really, really extremely important.